Hi, I'm Pandora's Books. Welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be talking about 2025's most anticipated book releases. The plan is I'm going to rapid fire give you a one-line summary for each of the books because we've got over 27 books on this list, so to make it short and snappy, give you one line so you know what to look out for in 2025. So the first three books I have actually come out on the same day in January 7th. So the first one I've got is A Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. Adrienne Young has written The Unmaking of June Farrar and the Fable series. So A Sea of Unspoken Things is about a young woman who investigates her brother's mysterious death while also coming to terms with her own haunting past. Also coming out on the 7th of January is The Three Lives of Kate Kay by Kat Fagan. That's a tongue twister. So this book is about an elusive best-selling author who finally decides to reveal her true identity after hiding it for years and years. She's had 3 names, 3 lives, and she's finally ready to reveal the truth to everyone. Next we have Beg, Borrow or Steal by Sarah Adams, also coming out on the 7th of January. So this is about 2 rival teachers that have to team up to help steal back a manuscript that the female main character accidentally sent to the principal. This is the 3rd book in the When in Rome series by Sarah Adams. Next in February we've got The Rebel Witch by Christine Cincerelli. This comes out on the 27th of February. It's the sequel to Heartless Hunter / Crimson Moth, and it follows Rune and Gideon as they have to work together again and work through the betrayal that they've had for each other as they try to save the world. Next we have Is a Fable for the End of the World by Ava Reid. This comes out on the 4th of March. Ava Reid has written both Lady Macbeth and A Study in Drowning, and A Fable for the End of the World is a standalone dystopian romantasy where a society is run by one corrupt corporate organisation who decide who from the underclass, the poor people, gets slaughtered. It is described as The Last of Us meets a salad? It is described as The Last of Us meets a ballad of songbirds and snakes. Next we've got Is the Sirens by Amelia Hart, coming out on the 1st of April. It is a spellbinding novel about 2 sisters separated by centuries but bounded together by the sea. Also on the 1st of April we have Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I'm sure loads of people know about this book. It is about 2 individuals who have an amazing first date, but instead of making it a long-term relationship, they decide to end it there because their lives are just too messy, and it's them battling with whether they should leave it at the first date or if they should continue and see what it turns into. After that we've got Enchantra by Kaylee Smith, which is the 2nd book after Phantasma, and this comes out on the 8th of April. It is about Genevieve who gets a mysterious invite to a palace in Italy, and she's expecting magic, secrets, balls, but when she turns up she gets turned away, the door slammed in her face by the owner's handsome son. Also coming out on April 8th is Fearless by Lauren Roberts, which is the last book to the Powerless trilogy, wrapping up the whole story. Then on April 15th, we've got Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. This is the 4th book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and it follows Cam and Dusty, who have a second chance at love as they rediscover what they lost in the past. Next we've got Is the Great Big Beautiful Life of Emily Henry, due on the 22nd of April, and this is about 2 rival writers who compete against each other in order to win the chance to write a biography of this famous lady who hasn't been seen in years. Also on the 22nd of April we have Voice of the Ocean by Kelsey Mpiche, who is a YouTuber. This book is about a young siren who goes against her own people to save a human prince, and while doing so she ends up unearthing a lot of ancient magic and a romance happens, and it's just a lot of treacherous waters. Next is The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner, coming out on the 29th of April. The summary for this one is powerful witchcraft, a hunt for sunken treasure, forbidden love on the high seas, beware of the Amalfi Curse. Next we got is Shop Girls by Jessica Anya Blau, who wrote Mary Jane a couple years ago. This novel, coming out on the 14th of May, is about found family, growing up, and just the best and worst of the 1980s, set in San Francisco. set in San Francisco's most elusive department store, I. Magnin. Then we've got Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid coming out on the 3rd of June. This is about Joan Goodwin, who joins the NASA Space Shuttle program in the 1980s as one of the first scientists on the program, and how one mission changes everything in an instant. Next we've got is The Single Neighbor by Senta Rich, who also wrote Hotel 21. This comes out on June 5th, and it's about this couple whose marriage seems to be on the rocks until a new neighbor moves in, and she might be the key to saving their marriage or possibly ruining it for good. Then on June 10th, we've got Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, who also wrote The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And this is about 3 young women, their bodies buried in the same soil. And the synopsis is very vague with this. It says one grows high, one grows deep, and one grows wild, and they all grow teeth, whatever that means. Next is Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston, coming out on June 17th. This is about a hit-making songwriter and a bitter musician who seem to have this magical connection, and they keep hearing this one song, so they decide to finish this song that they keep hearing so that they can break the connection and hopefully not break any hearts. Then we've got My Friends by Frederick Backman coming out on June 19th. It is about 4 teenagers whose friendship is so strong that it ends up changing the life of a stranger 25 years later. Then we've got Made for Each Other by Lynn Painter coming out on July 3rd. This is about a maid who ends up living in her boss's penthouse while her building is fixing an infestation, but when she arrives there, her boss's parents are there and they mistake her for her boss's girlfriend. So then they end up fake dating while they try to figure this out. Then we've got A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana coming out on July 15th. And this is about a witch turned innkeeper enlisting the help of an irresistible historian who happens to be a one-night stand from her past. Then we've got Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mehra coming out on August 5th. This is the 3rd and final book to the Assistant to the Villain series. There's not much about the synopsis yet. Then we've got Catabasis by R.F. Kuang coming out on the 28th of August. This is about 2 rival Cambridge academics who must join forces to rescue their professor in the depths of hell, real hell, in order to get a reference letter from him. Then on the 25th of September, we've got Uncharmed by Lucy Jane Wood, who also wrote Rewitched this year. And it follows Annie Wildwood, whose life unravels when she's tasked with mentoring a troubled student. Then we've got What Fury Brings by Trisha Levenseller, also coming out on the 25th of September. She's previously written The Daughter of the Pirate Queen duology and The Master of Iron duology, but this will be her first adult fantasy book. This is set in a world where there is a shortage of men after a big rebellion war, and now the women of this kingdom, if they wish to have a husband, must travel to neighbouring kingdoms to kidnap their own men. Then we've got The Love Haters by Catherine Center coming out on November 6th. This is about main character Katie, who has 2 choices. Either she waits to be laid off by her job, or she takes up a career-making gig where she has to interview a Coast Guard rescue swimmer. However, she cannot swim, so she kind of fakes it till she makes it kind of thing. And lastly on this list, we've got The Last Wish of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson, who wrote the Dance of Thieves duology. This is coming out on the 21st of November, and this is the conclusion to the Courting Bristol Keats duology, which is about this orphan girl and her sister set in this world of monsters, gods and fae as they go on a journey to find their missing father. So that is all 27 books that you should be looking out for in 2025, and if there's any I've missed off this list that you are looking forward to, drop them down in the comments. Please like, subscribe, do all those fun and cheap things, and I shall see you next time. Bye!